2. We're all good.
Hello.
Everybody's unmuted on there. We're all
Hello,
good.
hello.
Hello, and welcome back to Zaxria. It's been a while. I forgot how I started these. Welcome back to another night at the Nuts Around Table.
Are the yellow lights supposed to be on or no?
No.
Uh-oh.
There's only one. Oh, yeah. That one should be muted.
Okay, we're good then.
That's the extra mic. Yeah, we're good.
Rerun it.
We're
Restart
figuring
the
this
stream.
shit out.
Restart the stream.
We're just winging it at this
It's
point.
first time.
But for the gist of what we're getting at here, please continue to watch so we can average more viewers in order to get the affiliate status. We are literally right there. Also, be sure to check out the YouTube. There's a lot of podcast stuff on there and all of the previous episodes if you want to catch up. So, last we had left off, you guys started to simulate some sort of a plan as to what was next. You had made your way jumping around place to place, trying to figure out what exactly it is you wanted to do, started making plans to set some sort of ambush or attack up on the island that is within the Sea of Souls, Snake Island, where the Taken Serpent and the crew are, supposed to be, along with Anders' captive brother Sandin. While those things are in the process of working, you guys started dwindling down the list. You ended up encountering the White Dragon that Gorak had kind of made you promise that you would deal with at some point or another, and you did. You dealt with Dezu quite well. You made your way back to Teneveth in order to tell of a portal that was within the lair of Dezu, the portal to Malbolg, which is the 6th lair, I believe, which leads to... You guys have read about it a little bit. You know slight information on it, but it's some sort of tundra-type torture place where you learned from the High Priestess Kylaria that most of the religious and holy people during the eradication, when they were killed, instead of their souls going to the heavens and such, they were boxed in sort of torture devices, if you would, and brought to this lair to be tortured more. You saw some sort of holy dwarven individual being released from a box that you had brought to Teneveth, and you had told them about the portal and the lair and everything for them to go there, look into it, protect it, do whatever it is they need to do. You do know that the city right now is not spread thin, but they just don't really have a ton of resources. The Paladins of Baltha that protect the actual city itself are more of hired guns than anything. They get paid pretty well to protect the city from any sort of attacks. For the most part, it's just bandits and what have you. But anyhow, you said sent priests and a couple of paladins to go there, and there was some that were also over in Venore in the Temple of Yorina, where there was another portal that they were also working on. That one leading to Phlegethos, which is the fourth layer? Fourth? Yeah, it is fourth? Okay, 4th layer. Currently, in regards to portals, you guys were all in Arkanoria. Began looking around, shopping for things, and have now commissioned somebody to at least start creating for you some teleportation stones, along with a teleportation circle at your homestead. There is some stuff behind the scenes happening that Amalia is doing for you. And you had found that she is actually married to Tobias, the person who originally had brought you here to Arkanoria. While you are here, though, all of you are essentially just waiting, doing a little bit of prep work, relaxing. Connor has been doing some preparation for some new spells that he is going to need to do some tasks before him. And Azrael has actually left Arkanoria at this point and went to Nasai. And that is where we left off. All of you guys, though, are at the Wizard's Reprieve, either resting, drinking, or eating. But whatever you need, any sort of accommodations are met for you. As for you, Azrael.
You're dead.
It's hot. You pass out.
May as well just go.
Now you're dead. Spontaneously combust.
You're traveling through the portal. You found yourself surrounded by nothing but sand. The note on the stone for teleporting here told you to travel a day south. With the sun to your left and the day being early, you know that pretty much to be east, so you're pretty much facing the direction you need to start walking. Beginning to walk, it's at least 80 degrees, the sun is beating down hard, your jacket being on is definitely not helping much, as it has got to the point where you have taken it off now, and even the long sleeve beneath that. Traveling for probably about 5 or 6 hours, sweat drips from your brow, you sling your jacket over your shoulder as you begin the long, what seems like unending walk. Keeping the sun to your left, you are able to stay on track for the most part.
Pretty sure I did bust out the steed. Left off.
Gotcha.
True.
On the steed, traveling forward, what do you have in the way of water supplies? Or any sort of drink?
His own piss.
No.
The horse is pissed.
Just comes out like fucking hot.
It's already hot.
Just hot
Sounds
sauce.
fine.
It's habanero flavored.
Wonderful.
Sriracha.
Sriracha.
I don't have my water skin, and I just have whiskey.
Okay.
That'll do her.
I don't think so.
We shall die drunk.
That'll be a really painful death.
Dehydrated, and drunk. Ugh.
That's like the worst headache you'll ever have in your life.
Okay. So, if you would for me, make a Constitution saving throw.
It'd be good on this one.
Were you hoping on that paper it said you have a water skin full of water?
16.
16.
Barrels of
Okay.
The horse
You
comes with.
definitely feel very thirsty. Your mouth begins to feel dry. You can feel your skin slightly blistering from the sun. It's more of just an intense heat and uncomfortable feeling against your skin. There's no shade anywhere. There's no sort of trees or large rock formations. It is just very hot sand. And even on the back of the horse as you begin to travel towards Nasai, you definitely cut the time down, but more than anything, you're feeling the effects of the desert on you. There's not really much of like a view ahead of you. You can't have a great perspective of what's beyond because it's just like this very faint bit of sand that rolls over and like dust that picks up along with this intense sun. So there's really not much in the way of like looking around and finding anything. You're just trying to keep your heading essentially towards the city itself. How long does the horse last?
A day, I think.
A day? Okay, cool. That definitely helps. Alright, so for the sake of brevity, you essentially make it to a point where night falls, the heat has disappeared, you have more of like a sweaty chill that runs down your back from sweating and then this cold significant drop in temperature giving you a little bit of a chill because of the water sitting on the outside of your body. You can see in the distance, it probably looks like a good maybe hour or so of travel still, but you can see lights very, very faint in the distance, look like torchlight, firelight, and it starts to get a little more apparent that you can see it from where you are. It's up to you if you want to keep going or if you want to try to...
Yeah, keep push forward.
Okay.
Ever seen someone rob someone for a glass of water before?
Where you are getting, the outside edge of what you can see in the distance is Nasai. You can hear very, very faintly in the distance what sounds like chimes from the wind along with just kind of intermittent shouting. There are people walking on what you can see are probably 2 or so paths that lead more of like a direct eastward, where there are caravans coming in. Nothing really seems to be leaving the city at this point. More seems to be coming in. You'd imagine a lot of people don't really like to travel in the desert at night, either the day for that matter, but it seems that everybody's kind of sheltering in towards the city itself and starting to cluster towards the inside. Even though it is nighttime, you'd imagine based on how long you'd been traveling and just the feel of the air around you and looking at the sky, you'd think that it's, not too late, but it's probably close to like 11, maybe midnight at this point. There are people up moving around. You can hear like a lute in the background every now and then. It is loud. There are several caravans of camels that are coming into the city from that eastern side. People walking around with bandanas and shawls covering their face. There's loose kind of baggy cloth clothing that everyone adorns. You can see everybody's a little bit more bundled up right now just because it's a bit cooler. You can hear the sounds of yells, wood clanking around. A lute kind of fills the air here and there. There are slight chimes. You begin to walk down a crowded road to get into the city itself. You're pretty much shoulder to shoulder. Several faces start to kind of pass you as people are walking, as I said, shoulder to shoulder, just trying to get through this crowded little thoroughfare. People constantly bumping into one another, trying to push through towards the central market area in the distance that you can see. You know it to be the Coined Crossroad. You look amongst the crowds for a moment. If you could make a perception check for me.
Do have my bandana over my face.
Gotcha.
9.
9? Okay. People pass very quickly through the roads, and as I said, their faces are very heavily obscured. So you having your face up. Nobody seems to be like staring at you, or you don't seem to be drawing a ton of attention from anybody. Everybody just seems to be trying to make their way towards the crossroad itself. The crowd begins to kind of feather out, and you can see more of the city at this point. Sandstone huts with kind of canvas roofs, canopy tents that are set up on the side of the road. You look over and you can see a man sitting on a corner. He draws your attention very quickly. He's looking kind of feverishly around him. His eyes are wide, and he swats around toward two winged creatures that you can see are circling him. He looks crazed and fearful as you can hear him kind of yelling out, "Leave me alone! Leave me alone!" And he's almost like crying out. You see people walking by him and giving him a look like he's like insane and that he's not actually batting at anything. But you can see what appears to be two imps that are flying around him, almost like circling. You can hear them kind of cackling as they fly down and scratch towards the back of his head or something. If you would make a wisdom check for me.
Straight wisdom?
Yep.
14.
14. In your experience, you know imps are, they're not very harmful in ways of like physically hurting anybody, but they are known to terrorize mortals that are on Zaxria. They're unseen to pretty much everybody besides you, just because of your uncanny ability to see into this. You know a lot of cases of insanity among people in Zaxria is actually probably caused by them seeing demons and fiends alike. They pretty much terrorize the mortal world for fun.
Is there a way to like duck out of the crowd?
Oh yeah, you can kind of slip past. Like right now, it's pretty much feathered out. Like I said, people are kind of dispersing a little bit as you've got to what looks like a side road. You've kind of just tucked your way around and can see him sitting over on the corner, like swinging up towards the imps, and they just keep kind of cackling and flying down.
Like, is there a way to draw a weapon without being seen?
Yeah, you can pull something out. People are just like moving around like crazy.
Take out the crossbow and shoot him.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
You shooting the man or the imps?
Shoots the man to end it
Out of its
all for
misery.
you.
24.
24. Yeah, that definitely hits.
15 damage.
Okay. Pretty sure it kills it. Let me double check. Yeah. The first shot shoots, and you watch the bolt go clean through and hit. The second, it slams towards the rib cage of one as it's sitting there flying in the air. It just kind of goes limp and falls down. Watch one. Then it starts to fly up and go away up towards the top of one of the buildings. The body is kind of just sitting there on the ground now. The man
Walk over.
he's kind of looking around as you you see them too.
Yeah. You're not crazy.
They're all over. I've been seeing them more and more. They don't leave me alone. They never leave me alone.
They're here. On the side.
Oh yes, I've seen them. I've seen more than just them. They pass through, but nobody sees them. But I do. I see them.
What do you do?
What I can for work and more labor, time and time again.
I know why imps would target specific people.
More to just be kind of little dickheads, honestly. They don't really have a lot of like strength or authority in the hells, so they come to here to feel some sort of power. They kind of just prey on the weak and mess with people more for mind games than anything.
You see more than just what these are.
Many of the people that walk these streets are possessed, taken over by demons, monsters. It has always been like this. For years, I've grown up here. I've always seen it.
Makes sense.
Is there somewhere to drag
The
Right
body's
off,
there.
The body is
The body is
visible
there.
to everyone.
It's now visible, yeah.
This look like I could stash it somewhere.
Yeah.
Feed it to a dog.
Pocket it.
Okay. Start grabbing, walking off to where I'm gonna stash it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you find like what looks to be some sort of pile of just like garbage, like broken wood, cloths that are tattered and torn. You kind of just pick up one of the cloths in a pile of wood and stuff it underneath and then just drop it down. It's probably about like this long, like wingspan wise, and only about this tall. It's just like a tiny little thing.
As I walk past the man, I'm like, have like 3 coins in between my fingers and hand it to him.
He kind of gestures towards it.
Get yourself something to defend yourself.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No offense, but imps generally pick on people who they perceive as weak.
It's been going on for a long time. Everyone here
Just
just
call
thinks
him
I'm
a
crazy.
You're kind of a bitch. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
That was
Thank you.
bullshit.
Thank you.
We're going into the city.
Alright. Where you are currently, you have made your way from the northern part and now passed through the upper road that is on the Coin Crossroad. You can see this bustling market in the center is essentially an X almost. There's like a road that goes up towards the north, and then there's one that weaves through the middle, and then it continues a bit southwest. It's kind of where it got its name, being a crossroad in the center of the city. There are everyday goods here, essentially, kind of sprinkled in with nefarious things on occasion. What exactly are you here looking for?
Look for. Do people have like their wares just on display and stuff?
So essentially, in the middle of the marketplace, there are people that put up like little pop-up tents and stands, and then they display their goods. But there are probably about a dozen or so buildings and huts that are established here that are just kind of like permanent shops that are set up.
I should try to make out what a glass blower would be, or
Okay, make an investigation check for me. 11. Okay. It is dark out. It takes you probably about 20 or so minutes to navigate through all of the chaos of this marketplace. There are people throwing literally like live animals at people as they buy them. Like somebody like hands somebody coins for a chicken, and they just grab the chicken by the neck and toss it, and the person just grabs it and ducks out of there. And anytime anybody gets something from the market, you can see them grab it and like almost football carry it and like walk away, like looking at their back and all around them, so nobody just kind of comes up and nabs it from them. Looking around, it's not too hard to see that a good amount of people are armed and very blatantly armed. People have like swords on their backs. Some people even just walk around carrying blades, just kind of like a short sword to the blade like back towards them, pretty much ready for anything at any point. You watch people over to the sides getting in quick arguments. There doesn't seem to be any sort of like authority here that you know or understand of. But you do come across what you can see. It doesn't really seem like much of a shop, but you can see this round stone building of clay, kind of a red color, that has a few glass pieces sitting inside on the side of it. So the front entrance, there's like this round building. There's a couple pieces of like long tubular types of glass, several vases and such as well. Making your way up towards the front, you can see a sign of it. The glass sign has like words inscribed in it that reads "The Glass House." Making your way inside, there is no door. There are just beads hanging from it.
Before I walk in, I just check my six, make sure I'm
Make a perception check.
watching me.
Is the shop made out of glass?
13.
It is not.
False advertisement from Suna.
What's that?
13.
13?
See from Suna.
Just gotta take a quick, get a peek back behind.
Skip's glass house.
Nobody seems to be paying attention or staring. You make your way inside. As I said, there are just beads hanging from the front entryway. There is a collection of vases, intricate and well made. They're kind of piled to the side. You can see what appears to be a smattering of glass orbs filled with sand. There's a good amount of these. They seem more of like a decorative piece than anything. Some of the sand inside is like this reddish tint. There's a large glass table in the center of the room, a few shelves that are on the side with glass figurines. You see a tall, dark-skinned man, thin but muscular. He stands next to a large forge in the back where he has an orb of molten glass on currently. You can see his hair is long and straight. It's wavy, dark brown. You watch him rip the orb delicately from the forge as it rests on the end of this large metal rod. He takes it out and quickly spins it around and then places it in a reservoir where he begins to blow these kind of bellows on it very gently as not to put too much cold air on it. He waits a moment before reaching in and inspecting his current work. Then he rests it onto a stand where you can't really see what's on the other end of it, but he waits a moment and glares back in your direction and then back to the piece and once more to you. Aha! Hello. What can I do for you, good sir?
I'm looking for a specific piece of glasswork.
Well, I do love a good challenge. What is it that you have? What are you looking for?
Have you made any containers for storing electrical energy?
Not that I am fully aware of. Do you know who the containers were made for? Names.
It's for a skyship.
A skyship. I am up in the world then if I'm making things for these. I'm not 100%. I could not say. I mean, if you know who I made it for, I could probably help. But most of the time, I just get names, customers, with the request of what they want, and then they come and they grab it. I never really know what I'm making things for.
Reach in his bag and pull out his sketchbook journal.
Mm-hmm.
Flip to the page with the sketches and then put it on the table.
It's over. This is an interesting contraption here.
There's larger versions of those on the ship.
Electric squirrel here.
So what would you like me to create?
Electric woodpecker.
And he was in the drawing.
The whole thing? Or just
The glass part.
the glass? I can do this.
Is there anyone else here that makes things like this?
No, not for my knowledge.
I was told in the side, it's the only place I could come to get this.
Oh, it most definitely is. I am by far the best in the business.
Okay.
There are,
Sheesh.
I've done it my whole life. It's more of a family trade than anything. I've been blowing glass since I was probably 8.
It's not funny. Shut up.
What is your name, friend? of course. Glass itself for a sheet, which we will not be needing sheets, but if I estimate about the size of a sheet for how much of these do you want actually, is the question.
As in how much they are.
Never fails here in the Sai. Everyone's always looking for an angle. The barrels themselves I can make. It is intricate work. It's always harder to make it cylindrical. But like I said, I'm the best. I can do this.
Keep flexing. Sheesh.
I'd say for each barrel we can do 5 gold pieces.
Fucking shoot him. What the fuck? It's so expensive.
You sure this will hold lightning?
Oh, most certainly. I'll make the glass thick enough to do so.
Just like this thing. He's already got the lightning.
Put it in the back outside.
We were on a
Clicks the
fucking
holster and
sky
pulls out
ship.
the wall and
Hunting a fucking lightning beast.
it's going around this.
Milk you for life.
That's what I was thinking. I was worried about that.
On the barrel.
You're good, you're good.
And you give me the
We already moved the lightning monster for
monster.
you.
Push the electricity into the glass.
Okay.
Yeah, but he
With
was
its intricate
different.
work, I would still say 5 gold
It wasn't the
pieces.
same.
If you let me just
We got
observe
a lot of
that for
gold
a
for it,
moment,
too.
are you very attached to it? Am I able to keep it here overnight to work with?
You're keeping it here overnight. You're keeping me overnight.
It's kind of cute.
Well, let me just get some measurements then.
Will last for a while.
Takes it and grabs it like right by the barrel. Just kind of sets it down.
Irish have it, so having them both right.
Grabs it's probably like a bundle of twine that has like several small marks on it. And he just kind of grabs and then takes a pen and writes and alright. There is your
I don't know what's going on with this thing, but it's freaking me out. I swear I heard a demon.
The one use.
Like fucking electric
Cheap.
woodpecker.
imagine that there's definitely a chance for the size of it for it to kind of break. You
Someone
can tell
just
that he's pretty much
squeezed
just looking at it and
Packet of mustard out.
being a craftsman of some sort, just trying to do what he can with the knowledge that he has that you don't have to try to achieve what you want to be done. Might not hurt to have a couple of them.
Where am I?
They could very well be a one-time use type of deal. You're not 100% sure how it'll actually work. Just kind of up to your discretion of what you would think.
How many do you think you can make?
How long do you plan to be in the Sai?
I was planning on leaving tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. I'd say by that time I could probably make a dozen.
That'll work.
Alright. So just for materials and cost, for 12 of them, 5 gold pieces, I'll charge usually shop hours, but we can just do 10 gold minimum for it. So round it to 70 for the dozen.
Sure.
Just give me half now.
Sounds good. All of it now.
Okay. I appreciate your business. I'll probably work for a few hours tonight before I continue in the morning.
Alright.
I'd say tomorrow night around 6 o'clock, come back.
That works.
It was a pleasure, Azrael.
If anyone comes in here wondering about me,
Oh, trust me. Discretion is the #1 rule here.
that's what I do.
Nobody ever wants anybody to know where they've been or what they're doing. I get it. Comes to a point where people don't even ask anymore because they know. You are in the city of discretion, my friend. Enjoy yourself for the night.
Fuck
Thank you.
All right.
Walk out.
You make your way out to the strange sounds of the night.
They are strange.
Strange.
They are strange.
Fucking electric woodpeckers, people squeezing mustard packets.
I swear I
Shit
heard a
going
mustard
on,
packet.
dude.
I'm confident. The amount of mustard packets I've heard, yeah.
All
I
right.
could just hear it
Where
from a
would you
mile
like
away.
to go?
Try and find some sort of tavern inn.
All right. There is an inn. The inn, essentially, we will get to in a minute here. As for you guys in our is there anything you guys want to do for this day while Azrael is gone?
Are we just chilling?
Yes.
Studying. It's what, like the 25th now? 4th? We had the day job. You're my day
Still,
guy now.
still the same day, so 24th.
I'm gonna. We have like rooms and stuff, right?
Yep. So the way it works is you get like a key, and you walk up to a door, pretty much put it in, take it out, and the handle disappears until the key goes towards it. And there's enough rooms for everybody to have a room separately.
And it's free.
And everything's free because you guys pay the tax when you come in, but you didn't have to this time. But you're pretty much here for free to eat as much as you want, drink as much as you want, lay around as much as you want.
Don't tell me that I'm gonna become a cask.
I'm just gonna pretty much hang out at the tavern bar.
Yep.
But I'm gonna spend like the better part of the day trying to like focus and
Sure.
think about like Keranos and what he as like a guidance figure would want from like a follower and how I could be better to fit that role.
Did
Sure you
she
want
say
a
she would
drinking
come
contest?
to
Maybe
Wizard
later.
for
Yes.
free, or do we have to find
She's
it?
going to come to the Wizard's Reprieve tomorrow during the day. With
Did
the
you guys drink
8
those?
stones. He said tomorrow morning.
Oh,
So if somebody else wants to drink that, they're more than welcome.
You're supposed to drink something? What is
Fortunately, can I
it?
get
Waiting
mine?
for the station behind the moon?
No.
I think it's gonna be a Moldrak thing. It'd be a little weird.
Yeah, it's supposed to be do it.
I'll do it.
Connor is not doing
You
it
can't
because
do
he is focused on
So,
his spells.
Andrew can do it.
There is
Andrew, Razar, or Naris.
I fucking
Probably you.
it. All of my thoughts. They didn't be fucked.
Good old!
Sorry, what are you doing? I'm kicking this guy's ass!
What you want? No! You don't shut up!
Okay, that would be for you to do
Connor,
tomorrow.
need your help with
So I just beat my ass twice. as
Zar,
fast.
if you could for me, make a religion check.
My favorite checks to make.
They're my favorite. Yeah, I got +5 in it.
I have -2.
Oh my god. You're not a good religious person.
That's a D12.
That's a detail. I was about to say.
Lucky for me, that was the wrong type.
What a roll. It's got to be good. About it being good.
3.
Wait, you have -2?
Yes.
The biggest thing that you can kind of grasp from all of this,
This is old shit.
before you always had like this sense of just unknowing and almost like a very strange disconnect. Like you knew that there was something out there that you should be understanding, but you just couldn't. But now you always feel that there's like a presence with you, and just understanding that that presence is actually there is beneficial to you in your relationship with Keranos.
Okay.
But definitely looking into it more at some point or another would be beneficial.
big stretches.
I gotta get some other D20s. This dice has screwed me over one too many times.
Here I have 6 of the same thing.
That's dangerous.
It
does
is.
seem like you roll one, it's like, God, this dice is shit, and then you like set it by the other ones, and you're like, wait a second.
These ones always do well.
Maybe for you, you don't want my cursed rolls on them.
See, natural 20.
For which one?
Or whatever one. That works.
I just would like to point
This
out
one
that I have to
is
roll 3 dice
D&D
when I
room
attack,
23.
and I still don't get 20s.
Thank you.
Hardly ever.
Anybody
My
else?
character sheet. Here we go.
You're studying
I am
and
studying.
stuff. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
in the cabin as well.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
narrowed
So
my-
Like N?
yeah, N, like the letter N.
Oh,
I
okay.
am like,
That would have been good.
Connor
And it's
is
all
like,
lowercase.
unless, in case of emergency, come see me. If
Okay.
not, I'm in
Got
this room.
Yeah, so the place you guys are in, the Wizard's Reprieve,
off.
is like a large wizard tower, and the bottom part is like a bar restaurant, and then the rooms are several like Harry Potter style stairs that just kind of like move around and go to different areas, and then you get up to there's essentially like probably 20 or so floors of just like balconies, and on each of those there's dozen or so rooms.
I have like my stack of religious books,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a thing of ale in front of me.
Okay.
Just kind of reading through everything.
Got it.
I forgot I had that book.
What's that?
Was it 43 or 47?
23.
Thank you.
Yep.
It don't work. He's
If it doesn't work, I can put it in.
okay. You do.
I gotcha.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want a pen or do you want to?
I'll just do it like this. What are you doing?
Oh, I just want to log into the Wi-Fi so I can have access to my character sheet.
Oh, that would be
Wait,
nice.
why
Yeah.
don't you have
I thought it was in my files, or I thought I saved it, but it didn't save to my files. It just saved to the files on my computer. Because I did not save it on my app. Well, it's there, but it's just the blank sheet. I think I'd like to have it filled out a little bit.
Maybe.
Might help.
I just
Maybe
connected
not,
to the other
though.
one. It wasn't working for me either.
Oh,
It wasn't you.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have it filled in, you can just wing it. Oh, I got 20 strength now.
No, it's filled in. It's not how this
Although you
works.
did give me inspiration, 300 of them to be exact.
I have it written down here.
Mary's Revise. There we go.
Really? I was about to say, really? Jesus.
Okay. Connor gets to do that. You with your books. Anything specifically you're looking with the books? Or you
Just reading through the prayer book, reading through the Ramiel book, reading through the ancient texts, just
Okay.
reading through everything.
Got it.
Just to keep my mind busy. Or my not mind busy.
You have a mind.
My not,
You are self-aware.
my not brain busy.
Brain's debatable. It's just you?
It's just
Okay. 20.
it's pretty good.
Was it double digits?
Yeah, it was 18.
Oh. Alrighty. So, you guys in Arkanoria begin to rest. The time difference between here and Nasai is not anything too crazy. No, we're not doing that like we did last time. That was so confusing with the last campaign. Last campaign I had like time zones on the map and it made it so difficult
I
when they
was
would
gonna
travel.
ask you if they were,
Yeah.
if he was like a different
And
time.
then we all
We're
went to a
just-
different location.
Yeah, we
So we
had
had to
we
keep,
had
like-
3 different groups at 3 different locations at 3 different time zones,
I had
Efficient.
to line it all up. So
and then we went into the past.
Wait, was that on purpose or on
Yeah, that was
accident?
No,
That was
no, it
my
wasn't.
fault though. I gave him a book that allowed him to do it.
Oh.
But when they did it, they had the intent of doing it at some point, but not when they did it. And it was just fucking
We were
insane.
gonna die. We didn't do it.
Yeah. We were drowning.
Wait, did all 3 of the groups that were in different time zones
Yeah.
at different times go into the past, or just one of them?
No. Different occasions. Just
Didn't
too much.
You're asking too much
Such a
now.
headache.
Didn't Bellman die in the past?
No.
No.
I thought he did.
Somebody was like fading away. I don't remember.
It'd be
who.
so funny though
It was
if you like
Eos.
went into the
Oh,
past
shoot.
in one
Yeah,
of the
it
different
was
time
really-
zones
that's
and then
right.
caught up to one of the other time zones.
And then I had to like make sure everybody like lined up, and it was a lot. It's so stupid. So
He
stupid.
vowed to never do time zones again.
There is such a thing as over preparing. In case everybody was wondering. But you guys here in Arkanoria are resting for the night. In Nasai, you are searching for a tavern to rest for the night.
Be very vigilant. Just walking around too.
I got you.
Still vigilant.
Week.
Okay.
So I froze, dude.
Some of these sounds just don't work.
Empty caverns not doing it for me, Bill. I need the electric woodpecker pack.
Yeah. I want some.
Yeah, I want mustard packets getting squished, okay?
I can't do
Not-
the electric woodpecker.
Woodpecker. Woodpecker.
Second. I think my internet's being a little weird.
Streams
It's not playing my stuff. Yeah, I think the stream's hooked up directly to the LAN. I think it's the Wi-Fi connection. Oh, here we go.
beautiful.
Okay,
Scary yet beautiful.
Serene.
so
Yeah.
as you all begin to sleep, Neris, you begin to dream, and you do not fully remember falling asleep. You feel yourself kind of drift into this deep sleep. Your mind takes you to a dreamlike place. The sky itself is this vibrant bluish green with streaks of purple. You can see wisps of kind of green and blue energy passing through the sky. There's this very thin veil on the edges of your vision, almost like a blur. Your vision gets brought to a tree that you can see in the distance. It's a large willow tree with teal bulbs at the ends of these branches. You feel that you're almost in a familiar place, kind of a place that gives you a cozy and safe feeling, a warmth kind of that you had forgotten about. You hear a voice call out to you. Neris, come on now. Can't be out much longer. Your vision corrects itself, and you realize you are surrounded by beautiful trees of purple leaves. The grass is long and swaying. Looking beyond the field you are in, there is an Eladrin woman with a likeness and familiarity, the source of the voice that shouted out to you. She sends a warm smile your way while holding her hand out. You stand and run to the woman and realize your height is much shorter than you remember it being. Probably the height of a child. You get closer. She has this long, curly orange hair that goes down to her mid-back with a few strands in the front. Her hair is full and there's a lot of it. Her ears are large and pointy. Her eyes are this kind of amber color, and her skin has this kind of glow and warmth of a fireplace on a cold winter night. She embraces you and you hug tightly onto her leg. You can almost really feel her there. Almost smell her like you remember her, and you immediately know this woman to be your mother.
What? I have one?
Usually that's how he's hatched. Yeah, he's hatched from a fag.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
You get some sort of strange feeling, almost like this memory is coming back to you in a way. Like some sort of, I wouldn't say repressed, but almost forgotten. This has been so long ago and it feels like a lifetime has passed. She ducks down beside you while holding your hand. Run along now, to the village. Your father's waiting for you. I think I saw him with a present for you. Your young self, full of woe and joy, you sprint toward where you know the village to be. You can see around you there are several willow trees with purple leaves, long grass, wisps of blue light that gently dance across the tops of the grass. As you run through, you can see a collection of these willow trees, and beneath the canopy, several tents. The tents are more like teepees. You can see light plumes of smoke coming from them. You run to a tent where you push back the cloth door to see an Eladrin man standing inside. His frame is slender, but slightly muscular. He has the skin of a summer Eladrin. His eyes are amber with a hue of gold. His face is rougher than most elven individuals, as he has a kind of jagged lines to his face. His jaw and cheekbones are more of a rugged look as opposed to soft and gentle features that most elven individuals have. He smiles towards you with an immense admiration and kneels down, holding his hand behind his back. Why, hello there, my little wildflower. I have something for you. You jump with excitement, beckoning for your father to tell you what is it, or to give it to you. He takes his hand forward, and he has them kind of clasped. As he has the one behind his back, he reaches forward towards you, lifting the hand up to reveal a small orb. You can see it glowing with a faint bluish silver color. Your eyes light up with this awe as you look toward it. Now this is a moon orb, only found in the Feywild. It's said to have magical powers. If you hold the orb, and you think of your greatest desires, it will come true. He hands it over towards you. and you hold it with a smile on your face. You jolt toward him and hug him tightly, and he picks you up slightly with a big hug and saying softly, "Happy birthday, Neris." You go to reach your head back before you wake up in the room that you are in Arcanoria. A little bit of a cold sweat. You can feel your breath is not heavy, but it seems like it's hard to catch.
It's hard to take.
Everybody wakes up the next day. That is in Arcanoria. To do as you wish.
Put your baby up.
And you did not wake up in SI because we are going to deal with the night.
Whoa.
I am the knight. Rogue ready.
You just Batman? Is that what just happened?
Alright, as you begin to make your way around, you can see that there is a tent. A very, very large, almost like party-style tent, but it's this large canvas-like cloth that drapes over probably about 8 or so posts that are staked into the ground. There is this central kind of area where there are tall kind of bar tables with stools underneath the tent itself. It's almost like an outdoor setting for a bar in a way. There are probably 2 or so people who are tending to all of the patrons that are here. People here don't seem to be very rowdy. You can see towards the back there's about 5 or so individuals who are larger, muscular, Goliath-looking people who seem to be some sort of enforcement for the bar itself. And the 2 people you see walking around are fairly dark-skinned women who have very long hair that is pulled into this kind of braid. One of them has it like slumped over her shoulder, and the 2 of them seem to look very, very identical. You would probably imagine that they are twins. The establishment you're in does not seem to have any sort of a name. There's no sign posted anywhere, but you can see towards the back of where this tent is set up, there is a large square clayish kind of limestone building towards the back where you'd imagine there are rooms for sale. For you to do as you wish. The building that you are near, you are near seems to be the closest thing you're probably going to get to some sort of inn or tavern type establishment.
I'll walk in.
Okay.
What is life?
It's really
Why is this happening?
The interior is pretty dull. People aren't like joyful in any sort of a way. There is a bit of a wind that is kicking up, and you can see a couple of the bouncers walk over towards the western side of this tent and start to untie these flaps that start to fall down to block the wind that's coming from that direction. As they're doing that, you just kind of walk in. There is an empty table pretty much adjacent to the outside, pretty much like this large post, and then 6 or so feet from that there's a table that's set up. You can see the tables are anchored in here pretty well. This establishment doesn't seem like it really goes anywhere, nor the tent or anything that's around here. There is no sort of a bar or anything. Most of the stuff that is procured for the patrons out here, they go inside for. You see one of the what appear to be barmaidens or workers here
Benches.
that walks over. Yeah, I'm not calling them that. So wrong. As she walks over, she has a very stern but warm greeting. You can see that she probably can handle herself very well, along with who you're imagining is to be her sister. Her eyes are this almost golden yellow color as she looks over. Greetings, handsome. What can I get for you?
I need 1 room and about 3 glasses of water.
All right. Yeah. The desert is not too kind to your palate, I can see. Your lips seem to be dried. Tell you what, I'll bring you a jug and a glass. You pour as you wish, and I'll look to getting you a room.
Thank you.
She was trying to say, you sure do got a pretty mouth.
Yikes. Right. As you're sitting in here, everybody seems to just mind their own business and, stick to themselves. there are pretty large groups of people in here too, probably about 6, maybe 7 or so at a time that are sitting around tables, joking, laughing with each other. But then that kind of dies down to a silence for a little while, and then the joking and laughter picks up once more. Most taverns that you've been across, there's always some sort of like card game or dice or something that's happening in the tavern, just people passing time. In here, there does not seem to be any of that. I'm not 100%. Did we say that you've been in Asai before? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
They're all around the world.
Being in Asai, gambling is essentially illegal except for in the Den of Ferrex, which is the casino that's here, essentially. So just like looking around at everybody, it's very dull. People just kind of pass the time with conversation. There's really no sort of game or anything that occurs within here. It's literally just people finding somewhere to drink and eat and hang out for a little bit.
Is there any old man just sitting by himself anywhere?
Make a perception check.
There's only old men sitting by themselves.
This is tight, man.
20. Nobody in here besides you seems to be by themselves. Everybody seems to be with some sort of party. Like I said, talking amongst one another. And as you're kind of looking around, the woman kind of approaches. She sets the jug down before you and a glass, or she actually grabs a cloth and then wipes the inside of it out pretty well, sets it down. It's 4 gold for the water is free. We don't really charge too much for it. We have it in plenty.
He just reaches in,
Yeah.
pulls out a handful, it's probably like 5 or 6.
Takes it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you need anything else, just wave me down. She walks away. Hands you the key. The key itself is made of like a dense bronze. It's probably about this big. You put it in your pocket pretty easily.
Slam some water.
Yeah. You are definitely parched. Take the water and just begin to drink it straight from the jug for a moment before taking the cup and wiping your face, pouring it into there. As you are sitting here, you hear a voice behind you. Doesn't seem to be threatening in any way. It just seems like somebody coming up to have conversation in some sort of a way. Greetings, friend. I was not expecting to see anyone, here by themselves. I usually come by myself, but usually the only one that is alone. Do you mind if I join you? You turn to see a man dressed in light kind of tan armor. He has a salt and pepper goatee. You can see an eye patch over his right eye. He has black hair that is slicked back. His arms are revealed to see several tattoos down them that are a pair of eyes with like an X through them or some sort of a line or cross. You can see that he's adorned with a ridiculous amount of armor. Not armor, but weapons. He has daggers kind of going down his chest, swords on his side, on his back. And you can see him holding a drink as he sits there and kind of leans forward and sets his elbows on the table with a grin.
Sure, have a seat.
Oh, great. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're not from around here, are you?
I've been here before, but I do not live here.
Many people pass through time to time. I myself was once from here, but then left and came back and just used it all for work.
That's all we are.
You must have just got in. You come from the desert.
Yes, I didn't know where it was, about almost a day out.
Too far for gravels. I will try. Just more having conversation. So what brings you to Nisai?
Couldn't tell you.
Business, pleasure, something of the mix?
To get assassinated.
Having some work done.
So am I.
What do you do here?
Taking up the trash.
I'm more of like a investigator of sorts, I guess. Most of the time people lose things or need things found, and I find them.
Okay.
I figure you do a little more than refine it.
Oh, more times than not, when somebody loses something, somebody took it from them, and I just procure it.
That's the way to put it in, I guess.
How long do you plan to be in this eye for?
Tomorrow night.
What is your name, Fred?
Azrael.
Israel.
You?
The name is familiar to me. Name's Siegfried.
Of course it is.
Pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
Some interesting work you have.
It has a lot more weight to it than you would think.
So is mine.
Crazy fuck.
So, as he goes to speak, you hear a loud clank of like glass break behind over near the back corner of the bar. He kind of looks over towards it. You turn your head back to look as well. You see the bouncer that's standing there. There are two people that begin to just kind of like brawl type fist fight. You can see the bouncer has like what appears to be the handle of a tankard, or not a tankard, but more of like a pitcher that he's just holding the handle to. It looks like the rest of it is shattered. And then there's one guy that's just like unconscious on the ground.
Got him.
He points at the other guy and like throws his thumb to the side. The other guy just walks out and he kind of grabs the other dude and sets him up against the wall. Seen much of that here, I'm guessing, yes?
I'd say so.
Yes. So you said you've been to Nisai before, yes?
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you remember how long ago that was?
No. What?
I couldn't tell you.
1,000 years.
I've been all over Philly at different times.
Not bothering you, am I?
Thought you were gonna say something after I replied to your.
Oh, no, I...
Tread lightly, dear Watson. I will gut you faster than you can even tell what happened.
No, it was just more sometimes people say things and... Sure, you can pry as much as you like, but... For the most times, a lot of things that people don't want said about themselves or asked, so... Sometimes I find it best to just leave it be.
Are you aware of any strange individuals that exist here?
That exists here.
That exists here.
Yes. You are asking all the right questions.
Point the wrong one.
Definitely the wrong one. Number
I hear
2.
a click of a blade coming out of a sheath.
I have a feeling you are going to be meeting these individuals you speak of very soon.
I had no intentions of.
I am fully aware, and I know who you are, my friend. And I know that the company you keep with the keepers,
Can't go anywhere.
Dog?
which is why it has pained me to have had to do what I did, but I promise you, no harm is going to come to you.
Pain you to have done what?
Make Constitution save, please.
Need
Wait.
an inspiration?
Is it not good that we know? Wait, what?
19.
19.
Siegfried tried to kill us now?
No, yeah, no.
Okay.
Are you here with us?
Holding the glass in your hand, you look towards it, see that there's probably a little bit of sediment at the bottom. When you turn your head over, something may have been splashed into it. You go to take your hand up, you can feel that you're resisting the effects pretty well. You go to grab or draw at something, you can feel your arms getting kind of numb and weak. Takes his hand towards your back, and you go to kind of fight and push your shoulders back to like grab his hand or push him off of you, and you start to feel extremely tired. I said, don't worry. I have your back.
He said that as he was holding your
As you
back.
start to tilt your head back and almost feel like you're falling asleep,
Got him.
you hear his voice as your eyes are closing and opening, your vision's blurry. You can see around you. Some sort of eerie chill would have rolled over your spine, almost like a sixth sense of danger. but you start to immediately see people in this crowd in the bar that were very well hidden and start to make themselves known as you're in this groggy state and looking around, and you can only see them because they're walking towards you. You see one man that was leaning against the wall, twirl blade through his fingers, slowly walking towards you that he puts into his pocket. You can hear Siegfried. This man has had too much to drink. Can help me get him to his room. You then watch a fourth and fifth that were blended in the crowd start to walk over. Siegfried has his arm under you. He kind of pats towards your chest. You feel your side, where your firearm is held, unholster, and then get kind of swiped from you. You're trying your best to stand at this point, and your legs feel very, very weak. You go to look to your left and kind of open your eyes. You see Siegfried standing there. He just kind of looks and says something, moving his lips, but you can't understand it now. You're almost getting to a point where you are unconscious. You blink twice more before you go to sleep.
Night night.
Missing kidney and lung.
All you can see is darkness.
12 feet of your intestines.
No, he's fine. If they wanted him dead, he'd already be dead.
Yeah, that's true. Probably would have been dead in the desert.
As you are sitting here, you are surrounded by nothing but darkness. And it feels like not even a second has passed since you remember closing your eyes and passing out. You come to, very groggy.
Hope you re-rolled a character, by the way. How common was unfortunate situations, my friend.
A dark space is all that surrounds you. But it doesn't seem like a dream.
It's not a dream.
You can feel a cool chill in the air,
It's kind of dream. It's real life.
and you hear a slight sound of breathing in the ambience. That's all you hear. As you start to come through more and more in this groggy state, the thud of your heart beats in your ears, and your vision corrects. You look around. You kind of take your hand up towards your face, and even having your hand on your eyebrows like this, you can't see it. The darkness doesn't seem like a change, like you're shuttering any sort of light. Put your hand out in front of you to go to see it, but it is so dark that there's nothing there.
He doesn't have a hand.
Catching your attention towards the apparent far side of the room is a set of red, piercing eyes.
Oh, God.
Not like this, man.
You feel
Not
enthralled
Not like
and held in place, staring right back into the eyes. Damned soul, your presence in the sigh is most unexpected. We are kin, you and I. The same damn blood that runs through your veins is blessed by the same demonic powers I possess. From the same entity, nonetheless. For years I sat in the shadows, dank corners of the world, waiting, planning, till he found me, gave me purpose with his brilliant and cunning mind. I made something for myself in this sand. This city is an illusion, smoke and mirrors, for a purpose so much grander than your mind can fathom. We both have work to do for what is to come. You are a soldier, trying to fight for a side you could never be a part of. The soul you walk with is damned. You know better than I that he has you at this beck and call in this life and the one after. Leave Nisai, and do not return. Do not think he is foolish. Return, and it is the bodies of your newly found friends that will fertilize the earth with their blood.
They're big guy.
He knows what you seek, your every move, ambition.
He'll kill you before you can blink.
Blink really quick. That's it. He's still alive, pussy.
And I know just as well you're going to have your Christmas class. Watching, waiting. The eyes fade away in the darkness of the room.
Maybe the demon's sake.
You can see this very, very faint silhouette of gray in the distance where these eyes are at the other side of the room. All you can really make out is a height. It seems like this large black wisp of a shadow its eyes. Before the eyes kind of fade into nothing, you look around the room. Doors behind you open and reveal light into the room. You take your eyes up and kind of shut at the light that's coming in. You can see standing there, Siegfried, holding your pistol, your bag. Azrael, this way, my friend. We have to talk.
Is he holding it out? My stuff.
He's just got the pistol in his hand, like at his side, and then the bag at his side. You're probably like 20 or so feet from him.
He doesn't know about the shooting pistol. Get him.
Walk over quickly. He
You
doesn't move when I get up to him. Like, try to swipe the pistol angrily.
okay? As you're like walking toward him, he just kind of like turns around and starts to walk away for you to like follow. As you're walking, you get to a table that is inside of here. You can see that there is no sort of light that comes into here from the outside. There's more of like bright light from braziers. There's this long table down the center of this hall, a couple of pillars, and a loft above. Looking around kind of quickly, you can see probably about 2 or so people on each side that are just kind of like standing there. They don't seem to be like staring down at you. They're just more here.
Bless it.
He takes the pistol and sets it on the table along with your bag, and then sits down and grabs a drink,
Nice.
pours it into a cup, takes a sip with a grin on his face, pours it into another cup and slides it across. Gestures for you to sit.
It's very good at sleight of hand.
I would suspect nothing less, but you as well as I know that there are beings and creatures far beyond our control that have a hold on us like nothing else. No love, no life, no loyalty, no family can hold us stronger than the bonds that we have. Now please, for a moment, just sit there.
You know who I am. Why'd you have to do all this? You knew I would listen.
The Harbinger commanded that we bring you, as we did. And in my several years of doing this, I've never questioned what he says to me. Because I know in doing so, only bad things come of it. I've learned quite a bit about you and your kin. There is many things that we must know in order to be able to handle certain situations effectively. That also comes before us. I spent most of my life trying to run from the life that I have been dealt. No matter how far I run or how fast, it's always one step ahead of me. I've been a son of the sand for nearly 30 years now. Me, both of my brothers, had no choice. We were orphaned very young. you, I have done many things I wish that I did not have to do, but to stay alive and keep the lives of those I love going, I continue to do this, as you do. He goes and leans back, and as he leans back, he kind of cracks his back. You can feel underneath the table, he slides his foot over towards you and kind of like kicks it. Before you leave, drop something out of your bag and look under the table. He stands up, takes the last drink of what's in the cup. There's going to be a time when we are on opposite sides of this. That time comes though. And again. So, I know you'll understand. Just doing my job. People like in the rafters on the top of the sides, they're like a decent distance away.
Imagine it's dead silent.
Pretty quiet.
From what I hear, demon noises going on. It sounds like.
There is a piece of paper about this big.
Fixed it. Just put it in the bag.
You grab the bag, it feels heavier than when you originally grabbed it, or had it. You hear what sounds like the rattling of glass around on the inside. You open it up to see a box about this big. Just set it on the table and kind of open it for a minute. There are about a dozen or so of the glass cylinders for your gun that are on the inside of that. The gold pouch, which you actually would have noticed when you went to buy the goods, is about 500 gold less than it was. You do not think that they took it. You think that you may have bumped shoulders with somebody walking in, lost it then. I just wanted to make sure that I told you now so I didn't forget. But taking stock of everything that you have, aside from the 70 gold, there is 500 less gold and you have 12 cylinders for the barrel of the gun.
Grim psychometry.
As you sit, the area around you fades into nothing. You see nothing but gray around you. You can see this hall that was built onto the door that is on the far side. There's a lot of wood that has been put up, you can see. Where you're standing right now, none of it exists, like the large hall that's in the front. All there is this almost tomb-like looking building that looks like it goes underground a little bit. And you can see on the outside what look like very similar arcane glyphs to the portal in Melbolg. These glyphs seem to be on the top part of the doorway. As the psychometry fades, you can look and see that right above the door that you just exited, there were glyphs sitting above that, but there is wood right now that is covering all of it. You still feel a little like woozy. Not 100% there, but good enough to walk in. As you look, you can see opposite the door that has the glyphs or whatever in the wood covering that, there is a door to leave. That door seems to be a double door, and on each door there's like quick like portholes that have like a sheath over them to slide kind of back and forth.
Start walking in.
Okay. When you would have woken up and taken the potion, you would have been trying and trying and trying and trying to.
Hey yo, Azrael, you there?
Yeah,
Hey, Azrael.
nothing but
Hey,
silence.
how's it going? Hello? He probably just hasn't drank. You there? Azrael. How's it go?
Sorry, the voice message.
Active. For use.
Yes.
As you individually watching.
I don't seem to be. Open the door to reveal what you were imagining to be like morning is actually really pushing like mid-afternoon. I'm not sure how long you were out, but you were alive.
Is there any, like, just like basins of water running around in the town city, or
For the most part, appeared at like at the tavern and such. People are more to have
And demons, like what?
I want to go meet the Harbinger and just
Catch you with his mouth.
As you make your way back to the tavern, the same woman kind of approaches you. Oh. Friend said you would not be able to tell. So sweet. Did you forget something? Oh, no worries. Did you need anything? Alright. If you do, just wave me down.
half hour or something. Sneak his way in the back or whatever. Apparently, I imagine they keep the water supply.
So the room that you would have been able to walk into, there are several barrels and such. So like immediately walk in where the tent is attached to. To the left and right, there's some like barrels and water and food and such. There are the bodyguards that sit at the front entrance part. None of them seem to stop you as you walk in. You can see one of the women walks out as you're walking in, kind of like past you, like, oh, excuse me, your way past. Towards the back of here, there are two hallways that lead left and right that seem like they go to where the rooms you would have stayed at are. But you can see, like I said, to the left and right, there's supplies, like barrels of water.
They like just sitting out there in plain sight.
Yeah, two of them are actually up onto like a large bar type shelf that goes across with a tap on them. And then there's like two that are over to the side. They're clearly labeled water. Some of them are labeled like ale, wine. But there's two on the ground that are the tops aren't open on them, but the two that seem to be used are the ones on top of the tap. Probably wait like 2 minutes. The door swings open as the woman walks over and kind of takes her cup and reaches it over with a tray. Kind of fills it. Did you need something? All right. Well, get well again. Help yourself. She walks past and goes over
Like a barrel.
out the door.
You know?
Take the coin and flip it in. There's a shimmer of water where the barrel seems that it disappears and the water itself is now the portal, and you just kind of like whoop, hop into it and appear on the other side in the marble gateway.
You should have fucking taken a cap. Put it on.
Wanna see
Alright,
a
where-
magic trick?
Where would we have to get to go to the the side portal?
What's that?
Where would we have to be on our way to the Nisai portal?
You would have come around the side here. So it's probably about midday at this point. You have been trying to get a hold of Azrael.
Oh, I've gathered everyone together. We're on our way.
There has been a lot of discussion amongst you guys for the day as you've been trying to get a hold of him through the telepathic means. Is everybody assembled?
He just doesn't have any cell service.
How would you have gone about it?
Yeah.
Obviously, I find Connor first.
Okay,
That's the start.
He's the smartest.
go for it.
How the fuck do I'd go to the guy at the front.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know how the fuck these doors work. Can you call for like Connor and Moldrak?
All right.
Yeah, that works. I'll talk to them and then.
Who is asking?
Ander.
Ander. All right.
Say Captain Ander. They'll understand. They won't understand just Ander.
Understood. He takes
The mighty captain.
does a quick
Super
like blip.
cool, Captain Ander.
You see his eyes kind of look upward, and you hear in the room that kind of conch that's sitting there. Connor and Moldrak, you are needed by Captain Ander. Connor and Moldrak, you are needed by Captain Ander.
I'm sitting there in the Is he in the tavern right now? Talking to the guy?
Ander is. You can see him talking to the guy.
see
The
him
only people that
talking.
hear that are like in rooms. That
Okay,
hear it.
I'm just.
I'm gonna hear that and I'm gonna go downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone hears?
It's like the guy just goes and like
Just fucking sitting there.
Roll my eyes and continue to go downstairs.
Ander's just pacing.
You look worried.
Oh, what? I forgot you just staying here. I don't drink the huh? Oh. Okay, I drank the potion, okay? And then he hasn't talked to me.
Okay.
Did you think that maybe?
But like,
If he's still sleeping.
There's no reception.
What? Did you
that's not
consider anything?
Maybe he didn't want to answer.
okay. This is
Maybe he didn't want to talk
Did-
to you.
I agree with Tom, but that's on this one.
he didn't know it was gonna be me anyway. First
Look,
off.
Ander, I
Well,
knew we
I
should
wanna
have
hear
let
your
Moldrak
voice.
take the potion.
Okay, can I speak really quick? You guys do understand where he's at, right? Like, he's in like the scariest place on this.
Did I warn him?
He is a
We go
skinny
there.
man, so
I
think he'd be
do
fine.
agree with that, but like,
Isn't it if we go there, we die?
Yes.
no,
Yes.
I wanted
maybe.
to go with him and everybody said no.
I thought it was a good idea.
But if we were to go all together,
We would die.
well,
Or
can't
is-
take all of us.
we're just gonna assume he's okay, and just
Famous
he just
last
didn't
words.
drink it.
They can't take all
Time
of
is
us.
They can't.
Does anyone know what time it is? Is it late?
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's pretty early.
How long have you been at it?
I peek my head out the door.
Like mid-afternoon.
He's been pacing for
3 or 4
5
o'clock.
minutes.
It's 3 or
It's short light.
That's what I'm saying.
Why'd you wait so long to tell us?
'Cause I thought maybe he forgot that he drank it.
There's one.
You're a piece of work.
Wait.
Maybe he didn't answer you because he
Shit.
was waiting for Moldrak.
That's a bad word.
Moldrak,
That's
do you
possible.
have your mirror?
I think he gave it to
He did.
Azrael.
He did.
Aw.
No, Azrael has it.
Well, that's how use that mirror and see if he was alive. No, we can't.
Maybe we
Is there like, is there not like we can't like find somebody in the city who's got like a mirror? You don't think that?
Would have one.
I really wasn't planning on fighting today.
I say we just go.
Why would we have to fight? is everybody assuming things?
Do we not want to just like go around, maybe
Keep
check,
thinking that if we
maybe
go there,
like
we're gonna have to fight
ask a
everyone
couple
or something.
people,
Rubbish. I do not
like the
agree.
enchanter guy? Maybe that guy would have a mirror.
Group of
That guy's
assassins
a
from
dick.
Alcire.
Psh,
That's
Wait.
good. That is
one
good point.
assassin,
How did-
say you.
How did,
One.
how did he get there?
He
Huh?
went through the
Oh, through the portals that we always go through?
Oh,
you know how we get here from other places.
I just kind of follow around sometimes.
I'll keep it real with you, Chief. I don't even know where we are right now. What fucking continent is this? Zara steht da.
So we gonna just go?
It's up to everyone else, but yeah, I think so.
Oh, you gotta maybe get put on blocks.
Hang on.
I say we go.
Azrael, you there? Hello?
The final
Walk.
attempt.
Azrael! No, that's probably not.
Are you saying this out loud?
No, it was in my head.
Screaming in your own head.
Yeah, screw in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely did not answer. I tried again.
You fucking sitting there. Well,
We're for sure these potions work. Also,
They worked last time, didn't they?
do they have a certain range?
As long as he's still on this plane.
I still think he just didn't take it.
Probably hasn't.
He forgot.
Or he had just.
Oh,
he did.
he's in a different plane.
He
Yep,
came back here
that's
to
it.
like
She's
Wait.
right.
he did come back here to remind us that to take it a day
did
the
just-
next day.
And
So
we
I
did.
feel like
Wait.
What if Moldrak tries to drink one, and then Moldrak tries to talk to him?
I'm pretty sure that just means that Moldrak and Ando would be talking to each other.
But what if Azrael takes it after Moldrak takes it?
Does that make it a three-way call, dude?
yeah, we're
Pretty
all
much
in
anyone who
each
drinks
other.
it is connected,
Yeah.
like telepathically.
Up to 8.
Yeah, update people.
Unfortunate that I don't benefit from any type of potion. It just, I guess it would work that way. But there's no point in wasting another one if it isn't ready.
But if Moldrak, he drinks it, it works.
How are we going to know
So
that he
here's-
drinks it?
See,
Here's
But
the
how do we
thing.
know Moldrak doesn't drink it?
Listen about this.
Where
This
it's
is, yes, it's a very dangerous place, but Azrael can hold his own. If we don't hear anything by tomorrow, we go looking.
not. I agree.
That seems
that's a long
reasonable.
time.
I
What
know
if-
we'll fight.
What if
Where are you
he's
going when you get in?
what if he's like
Well, sitting there
kidnapped right
fucking in
now?
a circle,
And if we
wearing
leave
shit, he
now,
just walks
we
out.
can save him. But if we wait till tomorrow, we can't.
And we
Tavern
know the
for
kind of
the
people
Capri
that are there.
knows everyone.
All right,
What would
good
happen
point.
if you get kidnapped?
Good point.
Ransom.
Never mind.
Death.
Oh, death.
Or death.
Yeah.
Very excruciating
Ugh.
death.
What boring thieves. Mm-mm.
What if?
That is quite boring.
I guess if he,
Does the
If he
portal
lost
just
everything.
like
It,
put us in the middle of the city?
no, it drops
Yeah.
you to where the other
You're-
portal is.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna say where he dropped in, but you wouldn't. know
it
where.
drops you a day out.
If it's like
Stay
anything
outside
of
of
the
the
other portals,
Yeah.
usually they're connected via like two different doorways. Like
What if
one-way
we-
line.
Or if we just go wait by the portal?
He wouldn't come back through it.
A watch caught never boils.
If we had a
He told
coin,
me, yeah, he received a coin, so he'll be coming through the,
main portal that you used to
if he gets back in here. If
What if-
not, then we go look for him tomorrow.
I can go.
What
talk
if we
to
go
him.
through the portal and then we use our coin?
Then we just lose the
You
coin
just
and we have
lose-
to
yeah,
pay the
that's
tax
a
to get
waste.
back in.
I'm glad you're thinking, but you're not thinking the right way. Great.
You make your way.
Baby dragon steps.
Exactly. Baby steps here. We need to get you
So
one
it's
of
another
those.
drink from the counter.
He needs to learn how to read first.
Ah.
I'm
How can I
still
help
sticking
you?
with he didn't like Captain Finger.
Guys, you get some water,
No, most certainly.
Wait, Moldrak,
Wait.
Go ahead. Sorry. Yes.
what do you think we should do?
Yeah,
Let's give it a drink. The fucking-
Just turn it around.
Why
Why would that help us?
Trust me.
Around?
Jordy reaches over and sets a drink down. See
My
Azrael
turn.
reach
Oh.
forward and
I'm,
drink. You can see that he
for
is
some reason, I
covered
know
in
that
sand.
Azrael is okay.
He's covered in sand. He looks very thirsty. Looks extremely tired. And you see him sitting at the
Oh!
I'm gonna walk over to him and knock him out. Ah! Off the bar stool, obviously, because
Out or
can't really.
like down? Like you're gonna take out his knee?
No, I'm fucking floor,
Recapping.
bar stool, bar, face punch.
Are you actually doing it?
You're gonna climb.
I was about to say, Azrael is in five minutes.
Give me, let me get up there, and then I'm fucking knocked out, guy.
We're all now gathered.
How did your trip?
Hey, guy, I've been talking to myself for the last like 6 hours. By the way, it's in my head, so I could try to talk
in
to
my
You're
head.
talking to yourself in your head.
Oh,
That makes
boy.
you seem even more crazy.
Just because he said he was Captain Ed. That wasn't
You just forget to drink the potion.
Collected frozen bear. Whoa, sweet.
You
I
need like
pick
a
up
nap.
a table.
You guys gotta stop saying this shit. I'm gonna make you do
You can throw a table at me. I'm dodging the shit out of it. Cool ass backflip too.
It's like this
Backflip
big,
into
like
a
leave him alone.
Mini squash.
Chance to.
You didn't just like wake up and then drink it. That was like the idea.
Woke up like an hour ago.
You slept in that long? Were you like partying last night?
time zones.
I was actually gonna ask if there were time zones in the world. I was gonna be like, do I have to drink this like 2 hours later than when I wake up?
What is this?
I like that one.
Just partying with my new friend.
That's not a bad place to make friends.
Very.
Kind of sarcastic the way you said it.
That's a good
Who
point.
was
Oh, he's a friend.
Okay.
Wait, not this. Oh, you okay? You do anything? Like,
Hold right the coin pouch. Got that everyone.
Toss a coin.
minus your 573.
Screen wipes.
Probably about 600.
minus 6?
Yeah.
wait, does that mean you found the I don't even the harbinger? Okay, I guess that.
They make them up.
Not really.
You can take it.
No, you can't. Just because he's not scary doesn't mean.
He's definitely scary. Don't let him fool you. He's. I don't know what he's on with him. That dude is spooky.
Just because you don't know who he is.
Does he look like a wench?
That is a good point.
A wench. I feel like that's like for like bitch. Like D&D world.
Medieval bitch.
Yes.
Wait, you've actually like seen him?
Told me to never come back.
We have to go back.
Hell yeah.
If I ever come back, your loyalty pays for it. I pay for it.
So we can't go back or they'll kill us, and if you go back they'll kill us. So we're
That's not
definitely
fair.
not going back.
Wait, in
They'll
which
double
one of these
kill us if we
scenarios
all
does
go
he
back.
die?
That portal is in that room though.
We have to go back, don't we? portal.
say that the Harbinger... What does the Harbinger look like? Big, red, scary?
Why are you asking me? Asking he
Because
said
you
he's seen
people
him.
saw him and I
We did
didn't.
not see
Red,
him.
red eyes.
That's
Red
all we
eyes.
seen.
Okay. Maybe the Harbinger's a demon that's connected to here through the portal and uses the portal to go back and forth. We shut the portal.
With like a general.
We don't shut the portal. We have
We
to
need
go
to
through
go in the portal.
Fuck.
Have you been here? You missing things? Our goal.
Actually, yes.
We have to go into the portal, so we shut the portal off because we have to do it from the inside.
Oh.
I don't like this.
We can't shut the portal off from the outside. We gotta do it
That's
from the inside.
that's why we're getting teleport zones so we can leave from inside of the place.
Oh. I guess some of them aren't bad.
Okay.
Do you need to be caught up anymore?
No.
Because I don't think I can go
Listen,
any farther
I've-
back.
I've taken too many bullet crushes, swords to the head. I've taken spears. My memory is not the best.
Harbinger's not too different than myself.
Are you a giant red being with glowing eyes?
He wasn't that giant.
He wasn't red. He has red
Must be
eyes.
red.
Yeah, just because his eyes are red doesn't mean he's red.
He also wasn't giant.
He did have big eyes though.
So he wears a big coat and has hand cannons.
He's fucking Wizard of Ozing us.
Pay no mind to the man behind the machine.
I'll say it's just an imp.
Oh my gosh. Just a big imp.
Okay, what do you,
Just a human-sized imp is what it is.
I'm so confused.
That's just
So,
an imp using major illusion.
is he a little guy with really big eyes?
Maybe a little bigger
An
than
eye
a
with
normal
really big
person.
guys? Or a guy with really
So
big
he's
eyes?
like you, meaning he has powers like yours?
Maybe.
Or are you just saying he's like just a man?
Does he like cigars? Is that what it is?
Is he an alcoholic?
Not saying you're an
Well,
alcoholic.
now you're just
Just start
Roasters of
just
Zaxria.
talking shit about it.
He said I wanted 2 years to live.
Got him! Boom! Roasted!
Got me,
Shit.
That was a joke.
I understand now. He's touched by demons.
Oh, that sounds like he needs an adult.
Wait. You've also been touched by demons?
Do you need to talk about it?
I touched a demon once.
What?
When we fought Mesria, I was whooping his ass.
Oh. Oh, God.
We can take this guy.
You remember
was
we
a
were
fiend.
fighting that guy, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't actually like hurt him at all?
I had the lightning spear and I went right into his body.
He was a
Twice.
When did you even finish these?
Two big ass fucking dragons.
Just gone.
Yeah, we didn't beat that guy. We just sent him back to where he was from.
He also wasn't even at full power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to finish him. You guys wouldn't let me.
Because we
So,
couldn't.
We would die.
I would beg to differ. Wasn't a fair fight. Didn't get to finish.
It was a unanimous forfeit.
If you
I didn't vote, so.
I was about to say, think of this, everybody. We didn't all vote. So there's no way we deal with him. Or you think there is?
I'm gonna ignore it. Is that fine?
Well, take him as he is, not just himself.
Oh. Borderline personality
so
disorder.
a lot of people that are
Oh,
his
when you said-
followers.
Multiple personality
Oh.
disorder. There
I
we
thought
go.
you were saying
That's-
when you say he's touched by demons, you meant he just has like a bunch of demons in him, and that's
No, all the demons just touch him.
So the whole city is an illusion.
That's real.
yeah we kind of.
I pull out a little ball. Pull out the little tiny bear. What do you
Stop it! No.
Jungle
said that there will be a time in the future when we will be an opposite sides. But I hope to not be on that side much longer.
I don't. Last time I spoke to him, it didn't sound like it was possible.
It's kind of a.
He was just saying his plans in the middle of whatever building I was in.
Yeah, I don't. I think he. It's not like he can get out of that thing. You see all the tattoos? That's people he's killed. By the way, just throwing that one out there. He's a little spooky.
Yeah, that's so generic.
Has he killed a dragon? Has he killed a dragon?
Does he own a dragon?
Has he killed a builder? How about a necromancer or some hags? I don't think he has. Those are normal people that he's assassinated.
It doesn't mean he's not strong.
Yeah, it just.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's no honor in what he does.
There's honor in a lot of things, and people take pride in work that they've done. Whether it's
He's a
morally
sick fuck,
correct or
man.
not doesn't mean anything.
I just thought it was. I think it was a little cool what I was supposed to. The only reason I was bringing it up was just like. Never mind. That's fine.
Very well.
You can do with that information what you wish.
I think we put it on the back burner for now.
We're gonna have to go to the hell sometime.
Mention another bunch of regurgitated nonsense of the end times and stuff. Same thing everyone else says.
Oh, we won't just have
Things
to
are
kill
bigger than
like
I know. No, I'm gonna go sleep. It's walking away.
You can tell that he's like really tired too.
So, do we have to go to all of the layers? Is that the idea?
I have no idea.
That's a lot of layers.
How's it work for my checks?
The
I didn't
only
sleep that
way
night.
to close portals are from
This
the
is a
inside.
fail for that night.
So if we.
How is it supposed to close one and teleport out?
The name of the
Just
account.
teleport out again. That's all. Do we each need one stone ourselves?
Yeah.
How many stones are we making?
Well, right now we have 8.
This is a
made.
work in progress. Skip.
Or they're making it. She's coming that day or next day today to give us the stones.
And you bound them to the Lyceum
Yeah.
of Gillian.
It's the closest teleportal circle that we can use that we wouldn't need approval for.
Correct. I was just reiterating so I wasn't wrong.
Poor guy. Just having a fucking teleporter in his room. We just always pop through.
Oh, he loves it.
Sure he does when it's time to sleep.
Also, like,
My friends!
Fresh faces.
do we ever figure out whether or not there's like multiple portals to like each plane, or is it just like
Isn't there
there's
3
one?
of them?
To each.
No, there's 3 distinct portals.
No, there's one to each plane
Oh.
around.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you
there's
got
3 that were known.
But
Yes.
we've only found
Okay,
a
correct.
few.
Oh, so there
So
is
there's
only
9
one.
portals. We found 3.
4 now.
4.
So we have to.
We found 1, 4, 6, and 3. 3 we destroyed.
Correct.
3 we were able to destroy here, though, right?
Correct, because the magic to create it was different. The hags created that portal.
So is that? Does that mean? Fuck, that's confusing. Is there another portal for 3 then?
Possibly.
I'm not sure.
Okay. So there could be more
But
than
just to
one
help you guys
per-
out here, if they made one, you'd imagine that there probably isn't one because they wouldn't have had to make one, if that makes sense. probably would have just.
That makes
found
sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have made one if they could have just found the one that was already
Well,
there.
you know, maybe they didn't like the location.
Maybe the fucking Harbinger's blocking it. Fucking, I'd make one if that's. We're making a portal.
Just to save you guys a headache and some time. There's that 1 to 3 is probably you're imagining the only one that was on this plane.
Okay. All right. Cool.
On this plane, there's more on other planes.
Yeah, they have portals to houses through planes.
Like the mirroring name Zeke or whatever. You're
Like
supposed
if
to
you
do.
go to
Okay, I'll get to it.
Avernus, which is not 1, you can go to 2.
I know.
And you can go to 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9.
Oh,
Nice
so we
one.
just do it all one fell swoop, dude.
No. Because I can probably tell we're going to have a hell of a time just trying to get into
I hate this group. Can we reroll? New people, man. I can't do it, man. Can't do it anymore.
Intentional
Go back to the keep and start.
Yeah, I'm on a new group. Dean, I can't do it anymore.
Quit! Take my name out the ledger.
I'll erase it.
letter of resignation.
I'm gonna take this boat and go find my brother myself, and that's it.
Little rowboat. Or it's actually like a little rowboat because it's Brander.
It's like a rubber ducky floaty.
Yes.
Could pull the keeper and just make the next keeper steal a thing.
Oh, really? Also,
Somebody else's
compound the issues for future.
Isn't that what they did before us? Wasn't that the what we've come
Because they
to?
were useless.
Isn't that what every
Damn, got
president
'em.
ever?
Hey,
Not wrong.
We can become useless really.
That you can.
Yeah, tell me I have to fucking
If
go
we're dead,
fight
we're
the.
pretty useless too. I'm just saying.
Are we retiring yet?
Probably you. And
What are
me.
you, why are you telling
Hey,
me to
wait.
retire?
No, me and you.
think
probably
You calling him
retire.
old, man?
Yeah, we're both
Yeah,
old.
Jerry can retire. Connor can, 100%.
If there's anyone here that's old enough to retire, it's me and Ezra.
Yeah, but you guys have several years to live. Somebody's not
That's a
fucking
good point.
not got a lot of time left.
Cheat system.
So what do we do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do
now?
today?
Study for the next 5 days. 6 days.
I mean, like
However long it
after that,
takes.
because wasn't our plan to? I guess we didn't really have a plan for after
And then
until
I have to
you gotta
go
gotta do
to
what?
another plane alone and speak to possibly 2 astral dragons. So,
That are
Catch him at
fighting.
dinner.
Oh.
Yeah.
so
He's got to play
getting
couples counsel.
to Avernus is lower on my list right now.
Seems fair.
We should still get the teleport stones, have everything ready for when we are ready to go. If you guys have anything to do in the meantime, feel free to do it. Because
stand up
I
to the
have no
library.
idea how long this is going to take.
He says go do something that, like, if you need to do it, Skip immediately stands up and goes to the library.
Okay.
I also want to go to library
Okay.
to research Feywild and Moonstone.
Okay.
I'm gonna chill as a wizard reprieve until that chick shows up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna mug her.
What did you just say?
And I'm gonna mug her. I'm stealing all that shit.
Dude, I thought you said that I'm gonna motor butter. Is she married?
Even better.
I got a room upstairs.
I'm going to steal her shit. Is that better for you guys?
Yeah.
You guys catch that one.
Yeah.
There you go.
You said it like under your fucking breath.
Okay.
I didn't want Billy to actually think I was
So-
gonna mug her.
As you say that, she walks in.
It bugs you.
I can't be marked. Come on.
I don't know about that.
So I've played enough RuneScape. All you need is a blackjack. You gotta be really quick with your right clicks and you're good.
So Skip, Zar, and Neris make their way to the Hall of Gillian to access the library. He said he's following
Look
Skip,
at the
so it's
pictures.
Bro, he's about to go study some real shit.
Xander waits in the reprieve for Amalia to arrive. You continue studying,
read.
Connor.
I'll teach you how to read. Don't worry.
We rolled for this, remember?
Oh yeah.
We did.
We did.
You failed.
You did.
Fucking Dalen.
He had to put his hood on to read
just
things.
takes a little bit longer
Yeah,
than
it's
most
like-
people.
Fuck does this mean? Oh.
All right. Connor is researching more, I guess, studying still.
Studying,
Are you
yes.
staying in the bottom or going back up to the room?
Going back up to my room.
Okay.
In my little glyph circle.
Moldrak is going to wait down there with you, because he has.
Fuck away from me. Billy looked actually hurt when I said that.
Like, what the fuck is Moldrak doing? Azrael, you in your room. Okay, scry words. If you take the hand mirror and look at it, you can't hear anything from it. It's just visuals. You can see what looks like water splashing up. There is a wooden deck that he is standing upon. He appears to be on some sort of a boat. Not 100% sure where he is in the water, but you definitely know he's on the ocean. He is on some sort of a ship. You can see what looks to be him grabbing a rope and helping the crew, kind of tying it off before he puts on his duster jacket and just kind of sits on a barrel with his head down.
This guy's more invested in your brother than you are.
It's kind of up to you where you'd imagine, he left from. That's it. That's all you can see is him on a boat.
Wait, who'd he look at?
Somebody that you don't know.
Okay. Brian made me think he was
I heard
fucking...
I heard crew, boat, rope, and like, dude, that's him.
All right. The three of you making your way to the library. Currently within there is Asim. Asim is this dark-skinned, this kind of
Seem to be lost.
individual. His hair is in kind of dreadlocks. He wears these eccentric purples and yellows and reds. As you walk in, he's just kind of like looking over at you. Can't really tell if you need anything, and then he just kind of
He looks over at me
away.
and I just go,
No, not this time, my friend.
okay.
What is it that you need?
I'm here to look up on demonology.
Oh, very well.
Different things like that.
So I'm guessing you need to access the archive.
Yes.
All right. Well, Adrixier has given pretty much all of the keepers access to it when you need it. He says it is for the betterment of the world. So
Well, it's trying to
what the
save it,
Magisterium wishes, we all kind of agree upon. So, anytime you're here and you need access to it, though, someone needs to let you up. So, with
Yeah.
me.
Of course.
Give us a key, man.
The
Give the keepers the
keepers.
He walks over, and without taking his hands up, the arcane magic goes over the no-handled door, which opens up to reveal stairs to the top. Knowledge awaits you.
Walk up there.
Follow behind. You, Zar, and Neris make your way up to reveal the large collection of books there, alphabetized to just about anything you could imagine. What are you looking for?
I go over to D
Okay,
and I look for a demonology book.
okay.
And I'm looking through anything that looks to be a amorphous blob with red eyes.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
What you looking for?
That's
Stay
a
wild
3.
and moonstone.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Red eyes, black
Oh,
dragon.
oh, oh,
That's actually, you said investigation?
Yes.
That's a faux.
Four.
It's a faux for faux. That's a Wendy's faux for faux.
oh.
You hold the book.
Investigation
Yes.
My time wizard.
plus 6. Okay, okay.
Oof.
Wow, 9.
Better than
Okay.
faux.
Got it. You looking into the demonology,
Red eyes.
doing your best to find the harbinger in a book probably about this thick or so. A lot of the things that you find are very reminiscent of like monster manual setup. Besides, like there's no stat block; it's just a lot of description.
There
of
is
what it
stat
is.
block.
They
You
have
know
this
there is.
amount of HP.
A lot of these demons are demons from the eradication. There's a lot of writings, holy writings, scripts on them. There are a wide variety of them, but none of them jump out to you as what you would imagine has been described to you.
Okay, I close it. I go to H.
Okay.
And I think about it.
All right. Make an investigation.
A little better with a 14.
There's not like there's not a book labeled H that says Harbinger on it.
Right.
You more look for the category and then think it to yourself.
Yeah.
And then it creates it, so you could probably still hold the
and
same
then walk
book.
back to D.
You could probably still hold the same book and
Yeah.
think if you wanted to.
That's good.
Holding the book, it's only like a binding and a couple of pages as you're sitting there kind of holding it. You open your eyes, still very thin, open it up. The first page is what appears to be this book itself, this demonology book you're holding. What you've just kind of created seems like it is something that exists somewhere else. Like it could be a book or a small like short story type of deal. But what you're looking at, the first page is this huge black, what looks like shaded, penciled, like face or visions of some sort. Like it doesn't have a bunch of features, but there are these red kind of eyes that are put onto it. Reading into the book itself, you find some actually pretty useful information in this book. The book itself, the Harbinger is the Harbinger of death, essentially, what you're looking into. Reading into a lot of it, there is what seems to be what you're reading is some sort of a story. It's probably written in Nasai or for people of Nasai. The Sons of Sand are actually a known organization in that part of the world. Yeah, it's all in common.
I was about to be so pissed.
Yeah, it's all in common. The script itself, the essence of it is pretty much stating that the Harbinger is the Harbinger of death, and the Sons of Sand are the individuals that go and seek out whoever it is the Harbinger deems, is worthy to be killed at this time. Reading in the book, it is said that he is essentially harbinging souls for something. Not quite sure what it is, but it says that for people to be, good-natured, watch your back, be good to your family, things of this sort, because the Harbinger seeks out the ill.
Rip people's
Killing
ears,
people's
dog.
ears.
You okay?
This thing just went to red for a second.
What did it
Holy
get caught
Shit,
in?
it was like a solid 1
Like,
second span
way
of just
back
red.
here.
Oh,
Oh no.
you're okay.
These poor human
sued.
beings. It's just,
Do that
For
one
my
time.
ear damage.
Apologize for the.
Yeah. Now he's just watching it. He can't hear it.
Hey, at least
Their
he's still
audio wants
watching.
to cut out. Does it seem still here?
From what you can see, he does appear to be at the bottom.
Can I have some sort of paper and quill?
Sure. I do not see why not.
Appreciate it.
You look down at the book and look over, and he's standing next to you. Here you go.
I've dealt with many, many terrifying things. You still scare me the most.
wait, his name's
He's
Nassim.
a nice guy.
He's a very nice
cool
guy.
guy.
He appears out of nowhere.
A little mean.
I don't like surprises. I write down everything.
You said
Okay.
that to the voices in his
It's
head.
probably like a good 40 or so pages.
Something in character.
I don't
I'm
know.
an amalgamation of souls, dude.
It's
Like
like a
that.
good 40 pages. I don't know if you're just hitting the cliff notes or if you're actually
I am. You know what? I'm gonna have him grab some more paper,
Can we spike note it?
and I'm gonna copy down.
Do it like a photocopy?
Feeling it, Bo.
Maybe. He takes some paper towards you and then looks.
I think it was Desmos.
Oh, the tale of the Harbinger.
Yes.
That was a horror story for my people growing up.
Yeah, it's not a
That is a pretty common book. I'm sure you could find it somewhere.
Well, I wasn't sure.
That's fine. If you want to write it down, I don't really mind.
I'm more terrified of this thing than most people right now.
He's a scary being.
Yeah. from what
Mostly
people
just
say.
tails more than anything. It's yikes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All
that
right,
there's truth to
buddy.
it. It's a story about it. There's some sort of truth. All right, as you were though. Looking into the Feywild, and specifically Moonstone, you are able to find a book in the kind of F part of this that is labeled Feywild. You kind of hold it, think of Moonstone, open the book up and read. A moonstone is in fact what you were described by your father in your dream. It is a stone of power. It essentially falls from the sky. It's like a people believe it to be either a tear or a shard or a piece of either Saloon or Avoreth, which are both the moons that orbit Zaxria. But the moons in the Feywild are much stronger, and when they come to Earth, that is where they kind of reside and sit. So like if a falling star comes down or something, like it doesn't appear on the material plane. Like the Feywild is very connected to the stars and the moon, so it just kind of absorbs it and takes it in. So a moonstone is essentially just direct, because Avareth, no, it is Aluneth, my bad. Aluneth and Saloon are both the moons, so moonstones are said to just be like chunks of those, and they do hold like pretty immense power.
Okay. Well, I guess I can't look up a book on why my parent father had this.
You never know.
You never know.
It's just a
Oh, what
place.
about? Can I look up a book on Eldrin and the Feywild if there is one?
Mhm.
Cool. Let's do that.
Actually,
If you hold the Feywild book and think of Eladrin, you can do that, or you can go to the E's and look for Eladrin. It is completely up to you, but your information is pretty much going to be consistent.
Okay.
Go ahead and make another investigation check for me.
while she's doing that,
Uh-huh.
just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna go over to I, looking for Eandros.
Okay.
Make it a D20.
See what the world knows about it.
Investigation check for you.
13.
13. Okay.
16.
Okay.
Well, all right then. High roller over here.
Not at all. That was shitty.
By
Looking
13.
at the section on Eladrin, the information that stands out to you is that they are essentially believed to be extremely rare. They are called more commonly the first elves.
That's fair.
Essentially, most elves were made in the image of Eladrin, but more of a human kind of likeness to them, as opposed to big eccentric ears and very, very soft, elvish, gentle features. Eladrin are known as the first elves. Home to the the Feywild is their home. Are very, it's most everything that you pretty much know on the Eladrin. That their moves are based on seasons, or they stick to a season.
So just basic info about the Eldrin.
Yeah, nothing really
Nothing
that jumps
cool.
out to you. No.
Okay.
Them
Yes,
being
okay.
the first elves.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of ideas. What other books are there?
There's pretty much anything you could
Literally
possibly think of.
Infinite
It's just
possibilities. of information.
imagining to get to it in some way. Or if there's actual information written on it or somewhere at some time or other.
Maybe look for another book for like the Moonstone. See like what the Eldrin used them for.
Okay.
Like I know, all your dreams come true. If you
Got
hold
it.
it. But there's a
Okay.
higher purpose.
So going off of the one roll you just made, moonstones essentially are rumored to be pretty powerful. Most of the time, people kind of just leave them be. They eventually like fade away or become broken or something. They're pretty gentle. and it is quite true from what you're reading about people being able to just kind of destroy them and, I wouldn't say desires, coming true or whatever it is, but pretty much all you keep reading on moonstones is that they are a strong sense of, I wouldn't say celestial magic. It's more of just like this pure raw form of power and magic. And also that they're primarily only ever been used in the Feywild. Taking them out of the Feywild pretty much renders them inert.
Gotcha. Okay.
In regards to Eandros, you find a lot of old text on it, old maps, and as to where its location was. The king that used to, hold domain there, readings and scripts and stuff on it for, being underwater now for 300 years or completely just gone. Just gone or broken, rumored to be under the water, and a lot of the same writings that you would have looked into when you were originally looking for Eandros and where it was.
Where it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take my findings to Connor. Because he's a smart feller and I just got information.
You were in the library with them.
So I pretty much was like literally just hawking over him at first.
Me?
Yeah.
He's
And then
suspicious of you.
I was about to say, wait, how tall are you?
7 feet tall.
You're not hawking over me.
Hawking at the same level as me,
You're
alright?
sitting at the
You're
table and I'm kind of just like,
You're hawking a foot below me, okay? No.
I was kind of just like watching what he was doing, and then when he goes over to the Andro section, still kind of just watching, and I see that he's looking at stuff about Andros, and so then at that point, I make the connection of that's where he was like from or whatever. So then it's gonna spark me to go look for books on Ezra.
Okay. Gotcha. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
It just goes,
It's this big and it just says, you can't get here. Stop trying.
don't even fucking try.
Yeah.
It's all it says on one page.
Yeah, it's not out yet. Please unlock.
$300 for this
13.
DLC.
13.
The book is
The book itself, when you
700
grab the
bucks
binding,
for
you're just
download.
like kind of looking, you find the ease and start like going through, grab it and hold it. You feel your hands like, and then you're just like sitting there holding it. You set it down, just like start, okay, why not? Just start flipping through it, looking at pages, maps. A lot of the maps are just very like stationary depictions of where Ezeron is. You know from living there that Ezeron does not stay still. It moves. You don't know why or how it moves, but you just remember it moving. Growing up there, you're somewhat familiar with the city itself. There's no actual like maps of the capital city or anything itself that you come upon until you get like deeper into the book itself. Ezeron itself is a form of a like republic. There is a council that sits and kind of demands and makes rules and legislates things and holds everything in order. Ezeron is a city of advanced technology in regards to the rest of the world. You would have seen a good amount of that being there. Going through this book though is just more reiterating things that you already know. So like there is nobody in Ezeron that is not a Dragonborn.
Okay.
You cannot live in Ezeron or even stay the night if you are not Dragonborn. They are very strict with their bloodlines. Most of the people that are there are a good amount of like clans that have lived there for a long time. You'd imagine there's probably like a dozen, maybe more families. There's a pretty solid population of Dragonborn in Ezeron too, and Dragonborn of all skin like chromatic and metallic. They are not in any way innately evil or anything like that. The world does not really work like that. Zaxria doesn't. It's not like normal D&D type tropes where chromatic dragons are inherently evil. The people of Ezeron have not always been isolated. You find a lot of reading in here, like just kind of going through and like pictures of the eradication that kind of hint at them becoming more isolated just due to the eradication and being so worried about their lineage, and especially with many of the dragons in the world being essentially extinct for the most part. I mean, you guys have encountered two, and one of them was in a completely different plane. But you'd imagine, that there was a time, and especially growing up, like reading stories and hearing stories, that there were dragons that were kind of free roaming, flying around, and were hunted at some point. So Ezeron is very, very keen on keeping that bit of life and history just preserved and not letting anybody affect it in any sort of a way. Very, very hesitant to trust anybody. I don't on hand have any names of the people who are on the Republic, like the council.
Yeah.
I can get those to you at some point or another.
Regarding like religious aspects.
Yeah, they're very, very dedicated to Cetrian. Cetrian is the draconic deity for like all draconic life. And Cetrian actually has, I think your notebook is literally right behind
Yeah, actually.
Here.
I have plenty
Cetrian.
of pencils.
I have holy symbol.
And
for
plus,
it.
if you ever forget, I guarantee you skipped over this knowledge.
So Cetrian is a draconic deity for everything draconic, whether it be evil or good.
How do I
Anything religious.
Seatraian.
S-E-A-T-R-A-Y.
Seatraian.
He didn't write a single thing down right there, by the way. No.
He's pulling his arm back.
Cetrian is just a draconic deity in a broad sense, and then people just kind of depict in their own way of how he is to be worshipped and what he wants.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
I would have been.
Yes. Yes. But never really would have had any sort of like sense of like any sort of like worship or belonging. Like you always felt disconnected from it. Like you understand it, respect it to a degree, but have never had like a strong connection to it in any sort of sense of the word. Also known as the Great Dragon.
So he is believed to have been one of the ancient dragons.
Yes, the first dragon. Yeah.
So there's no
Also, Cetrian is depicted as female and male.
Want to touch it?
Oh, like that's so.
So there's no Bahamut. Interesting.
Tito.
He's probably
This,
thinking all about
the
Probably.
the holy symbol for Cetrian is just this very rigid, like spikes and fins and these kind of ridges all over the head. Like a very, very strong-looking heroic dragon head is essentially how all of the holy symbols are depicted. But you do know that he is worshipped pretty heavily in the Republic. The Ezeron itself is like the Republic of Ezeron, and like all of the flags for there and like their kingdom's emblem or whatever you would like to call it, or their sigil, is the holy symbol for Cetrian.
Okay.
Yeah. Like everybody there believes very heavily in Cetrian. Like even like you, like coming from there, still have like strong roots to it. There isn't anybody there that really doesn't believe. It's I wouldn't say pushed very hard, but there's like such a strong sense of belief from everybody that it just passes down to like bloodline.
Is there any information about how people go about worship?
Most of the time, it is in Ezeron. It's to live a very like isolated and it's kind of fucked up, but surrounding yourself with other Dragonborn and being like very true to just Dragonborn and Dragon-alike, and like I said, there's good and bad depictions of it. Bad depictions of it, you'd imagine, are more of like a conquer all type of thing, like a supreme to all. And I mean, you in your mind, you think you are pretty much superior to a lot of people, like strength-wise and being Dragonborn and the abilities that you have. You feel very like one of a kind and rare. And for the most part, you are. There's not a ton of Dragonborn that like just walk around Zaxria. Very large population is in Ezeron itself. A lot of people in Ezeron too. Like it's a big reason that you left is that they're very high intellect, very put together. Everything's very proper. There's schedules to things.
He's calling you dumb.
They are. They're not. Yeah. There are people there that are like strong. And they all, like I said, they're very, very put together. Like I said, on tight schedules. They have like itinerary for shit. Like they feel like they have to live this very proper life in order to worship and keep living. They try to live very perfectly in order to keep everything preserved and not like fuck up or mess anything up along the way.
Lame.
Until we come around.
We're working this whole campaign. We're not going there once.
We'll do
No, I'm not paying. So.
it. Itch my way in.
Alrighty. Is there anything else you want while you're
Squirrels.
They're brown, gray, red.
What about Eldrin religion?
Okay. Most of them worship a fiend. Ephine. She is the elven deity. She's also worshipped by elves inside of Zaxria in Venore. Normally called like the All-Mother.
Anything else cool about her? Pretty Elven, yeah. Thought so. Did she also have a dragon?
No.
Okay.
Lame.
had a dog.
She
Also
ain't cool.
worshipped by elves and some Malaka, Gulgari, which is
Peace.
All my homies love
actually because there's two.
We're on me, bud.
Okay. Anything else?
Negative from me, at least.
Okay.
Damn squirrel.
What are you?
We're still connected here.
Squirrel's humping the shit out of you.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting myself my
Thank God.
All right. You guys all find rest for the night.
Whoa!
Uh,
My fucking teleport stones, dude.
oh, sorry.
I'll kill that
I
lady.
don't like you.
I
was waiting here all
That's my bad.
She
I
walks
forgot.
in, gives you walk out.
Amalia does walk in. She has a sack of the stones. It's like a grayish color with a silver kind of rope to the top of it. You can hear them kind of clanking on the inside as she walks in.
She's about to break my stones.
Sets them onto the table that you're sitting at. All 8 of them bound to the Lyceum. You should be ready whenever you wish.
So, are you supposed to start the circle now?
Yeah, I'll get to it. Be able to make the circle for there, and for you guys, at any point, if you wanted to bind it to other circles, I can look into doing that for you. But for now, I'll just get started on the circle itself.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we owe you gold right now?
When it's done?
Yeah.
I'll need supplies along the way, and should be enough to start it up. And your estate is where?
Got it. Hold map out. It's right here.
I don't know if I have them.
I'm pretty sure.
It's,
Well,
It's-
drinks are packed. I forgot.
Woodroy pulls a map out.
yeah, there we go. I don't even know where I am
It is
half
the
the
right
time.
view. He points to the house. Alright, I'll at least get close enough.
Where's his
map?
I'm more. I'm Matt.
Jesus. Thumbs are actually bad. He's actually somewhat aware of his surroundings. That's what I choose to be.
Alrighty.
50% of the time. Okay. 30% of the time.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So everybody goes and finds rest for the day. It's pretty early in the day, but just kind of like standing around and really not doing much for the most part kind of puts you in this mood where you just want to like sit and not do a whole lot. And when you're up here in Arcanoria, the rest of the world doesn't even really feel like it's there. You're surrounded by nothing but this blue sky, and honestly it kind of puts you in a weird feeling where you're constantly surrounded by the same surroundings. It's almost like this canvas is put amongst, like, over you, like you're in this dome that's just away from everything else. And literally if the world was on fire beneath you, you probably would have no idea.
Are you
because of how-
the world's on fire? I'm jumping off.
I'm jumping.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll save you.
Pretty sure we're above water.
If you try to jump off, though, it does not let you.
Kind of
There's
glitch.
a barrier.
But
BBG
someone
fight comes,
tried.
We're gonna get him. Yeah. You know,
That does mean somebody tried.
When there's a law, that means someone's tried it.
Always.
I'm just saying, I did like 3 or 4 battles. Imagine how many I
More
could.
than that.
Imagine how many I could get when I jump off the side.
Imagine how
You
far
see
you
him.
get before you go unconscious.
I bet I could
Hypoxia.
still get backflips while I'm unconscious.
Now, you would imagine that there's a barrier around Arcanoria except for the Skydeck, because that has to come in and out.
So I could backflip off the sky deck.
Sure, if you tell me you are, that'll be the way he goes.
He's like,
I'm letting everyone know now. I can say you did something and it's canon and you are doing it. Say I'm throwing a table at him, you're fucking throwing a table at him. Okay?
You're telling me I can't
Starting
make a
now.
joke anymore?
Starting now.
I'm gonna die!
He dies. Roll.
The amount of stupid shit I say I do as a
Let's
joke
say,
is...
fucking, when we come to the final fight,
Just be
get
careful
up,
what you
get
say.
a go,
If you're
bubble,
okay with it, like,
right up and jump off like an ICBS, hit the big BBEG with his smite on my sword.
And then you die.
I died, but the guy's dead. My life ride. That's how I roll.
You gotta do some fucking
D&D
like a velocity you're gonna have.
D&D was fun, now I have to fucking... I have to actually think. Like, will this kill me?
Oh, on the Alright, I'm gonna give you the jar or whatever
I will
of
only
the
talk in
lightning. You can see that the glass cylinders that you were given, there is a metal bit of a conduit at the bottom part of it. You'd imagine that you can probably attach some sort of a rod to it, or just open up the jar and hope to God that it flies towards the metal. But putting some sort of a rod and then using it as a conduit to go into the barrel and draw some energy up. However you think is best to do so. But I'm just, because of your knowledge with everything, you're probably going to end up taking some sort of a rod, using it as a conduit, but there's a small little metal hole that goes up towards the top. It's not even like a hole, it's just like this metal plate at the bottom of the glass cylinder, where you can take a piece of metal and set it in, and then we'll try to draw the lighting into the cylinder. The glass itself is probably about that thick all the way around. The cylinder itself is probably about this wide. It holds a good amount of electricity in it, but nothing so intense that it will like freaking explode and just make your heart stop immediately from getting shocked. It's definitely enough in there to cause a little bit of a sting and some hurt. But take it, it attaches pretty much perfectly onto the barrel. You can feel that there is not like a ton of play. It almost has to like slide over it, as opposed, or like, you know, clamp down however you want it to. But like if you were to try to slide and maneuver it, it doesn't have like any give. It has to really, really go across the barrel in order to move in any sort of way. so it's on there pretty good. You feel good about it.
I don't
So
think
you're pretty much
enough
you're
training
not
to
really
get there.
worried about anything malfunctioning or breaking, but the lightning's really fucking electricity is really sort of a waste. This type of deal. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
I'm ready to fight the final boss. I almost have it. I almost have it.
He's just gonna stand there and wait for me. Just right there.
Zarvrak still gathers power from his
Can I see the plans again, please?
Oh, you guys
Or
are
your
standing there like, what is he doing? How much power is he going to put into it?
Fucking screaming.
Zarvrak, you're gonna blow all the time you have left on it.
You're such a fucking weeb, dude. Unmatched. I'll look at which one.
Next time.
I think it's this top right one.
The keywords.
Shove one of these real sus looking dude.
don't look at the big one.
Yeah, that one looks like a hairy nutsack. I would flip this around and show people, but I can't even show this on screen. Okay, fuck it, it's worth it. This one right here. Just real quick.
That's it's like
No doubt.
Okay.
it's the scene from Super.
So the idea was for it to just slide over, or right.
I don't know about
Or is it? Yeah, it just slides over. Correct.
Or it could have like a little like
Flash?
notch. A flash. I had a gun and like slides and clicks.
Oh, okay. That's where we're at then. Okay.
That gun's for some other fun.
Very nice.
Okay, there you go.
Maybe a dildo cannon.
bludgeoning damage.
Once the glass is on the inside,
Oh no.
once the glass is on the inside, it pretty much stays in there. So you can redo these cylinders and then just kind of like grab and attach them really quickly onto it.
don't know if I
So
can
it's
show that
almost
one.
like a glass thing around it if you want it to like notch and click onto it, as opposed to it just being like a barrel, if that makes sense. But taking it, you have it up to the point where the barrel is over the barrel of glass is over the barrel of the gun, and it is electrified. You didn't really have too much issue getting the electricity from the jar into the barrel itself. You take the gun up and point it out to wherever, getting ready to shoot it.
Just point out into the sky.
All right, and then you shoot.
Shoot the barrier breaks, and we all
I'm
fall.
gonna have you roll a d100 to see if this was a
damage.
success. For damage.
Slick.
83.
83. Okay, I just needed you to get over 50. So it is a success. It works. You're not really sure what kind of damage. I mean, lightning.
Well,
damage.
hey, he's not
But
shooting this way.
in
He's
regards
just
to-
this way.
In regards
Snipe
to
someone.
the die or whatever it may be, we'll figure that out in a little bit. But when you shoot it, you almost feel this like bit of lightning go into the handle itself, just from like shooting. Like the path just follows back a
yourself.
little bit, but the velocity of the bullet, and then he falls off the deck.
Start wearing rubber gloves when you shoot this thing.
Fuck, why did he decide
when
to
you
shoot
shoot
it
it,
on the
though,
sky deck?
There is a little bit of like a zap where you push really hard, like a quick initial like squeeze, then you like grab for a second, like oh fuck,
Grab
there's
one
like
of
a
those
zap.
little electric,
Yeah,
like
just
zappy
fucking-
handles.
Yes, exactly. So when you shoot it, the bullet, you feel it come out. There's like the little bit of the kick, and you watch all of the electricity that's in the barrel just get sucked into the bullet that flies out, and you see this trail of electricity kind of behind it, and then it disappears into the sky.
What's that? Looks at it, surprised it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Was it? Can I like judge how much came out of that?
In the jar,
Yeah.
you'd imagine you probably have. Because you have two of the jars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have two jars. Each jar probably has about anywhere from 10 to 20 or so shots. It's just kind
I'm
of a
gonna take a
gamble.
guess
and
since his
toss-up
does a
of how
little
much
bit more
it'll be.
damage though.
Because like when you take the rod and you're like pulling it up, it's not the same every time, and like you don't want to try to like overfill
do
it
you
and
do?
possibly explode it.
Okay. So could they be filled before
And,
Probably
being
close.
attached to the gun?
yes. Because the way I'm imagining it, since you wanted it like the notched way, is that it's. I'm trying to think of something that would describe what it would be like. So essentially, the middle of it is there's nothing there. The glass just is kind of like on the outside, and there's some sort of a metal plate that pulls it into that glass portion that draws the energy out when it's shot because of the metal bullet pulling it forward. Cool. Works for me. Actually, that's not how the physics work. Yeah. Do you know how electricity works, man? Okay, idiot. All right. After that, though, everybody ends up falling asleep, waking up the next day. Spell slots and hit points restored.
Spell points and hit slots.
Hit points.
Points and pillow slots.
Pillow sluts.
Whoa.
Hello, slots.
Oh.
I thought that's what you said.
TOS.
Oh.
Whoa.
And the
All right,
screen's
pillow
banned.
wenches. I'm sorry.
Pillow wenches.
You okay? You alright? Seemed a little. Seemed like that was painful or something.
Talking shit about my pillow.
What are you? No.
So it's just like when a lot of people sleep with them. That's all it is.
That is true. They do.
I don't know how many
19.
people were in this room before
19.
me.
Success.
Still hope.
Shock's gonna fail one too many times and drop dead.
That's a very encouraging thing to say.
I feel like
I'm just saying.
probably
Every time he fails, he wins.
he fails.
So-
He fails 3 times and then he turns into a demon. I'm calling it. So.
The
Or be
last
fighting
time
his
he had
ass.
to fight a demon.
Alrighty. Anything specific you would like to do for the day?
Same thing I've been up to.
Same thing you're up to? Alrighty.
I think we're all just chilling.
Right. Okay. So with that,
Moldrak would
since
like to
we
jump
are-
off the sky.
Yeah, right. Oh man, I'm gonna be so mad.
God!
We said what we said has to be canon, man.
Guess he did it.
We are going to wrap it up there for this week. We're going to pick it back up next week. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Again, please watch the YouTube and continue to get those views up so we can get the affiliate status. My guy over there is not ready to turn the stream off, so we're going to wait a minute while Jerry does it. Thank you and have a good day.